Good morning, grade 4. Today is March 19, Thursday, 2020. This is the last day of weekdays. Hey, weekend will start. Our rest day will start. Okay, lesson for today is chapter 6, lesson 6. What is the water cycle? Okay, this lesson is page 273. Recycled water. Didn't you know that our water is just recycled? Yes, that is true. Why? The water since day one of the earth is same as the water today in 2020. Yes, the water that we are drinking and consuming is very old. Older than your grandma, older than your grandpa. That is correct. Why? Here it says, Earth's water exists in three different phases: solid, liquid, and gases. Water changes phases as it is recycled. The sun energy powers this process. The sun heats the liquid water in the Earth's surface. Remember the two types of water? You have the groundwater and then the surface water. The surface water is the one that the sun heats so that it will evaporate. That is the process. Evaporation is the process of water turning into gas. So when the surface water turns into gas, that is evaporation. And after that process, it becomes a water vapor. Water vapor is a gas. When it cools down, the water vapor changes into water droplets. That process is called condensation. And that process is the result of forming of clouds. When clouds cannot hold the water droplets anymore, it pours down. When it pours down, we call it precipitation. It says here, any forms of water falling to the earth is called precipitation. So, there are four types of precipitation: rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Let's go to question number 1. Look at the rain here in the picture. Could the water falling as rainfall again into the future as snow? Explain. Yes. Yes, because remember, the water, it could be, the precipitation, it could be in the form of water, which is rain. It could be in the form of solid form, which is snow, sleet, and hail. So that is, yes, this water may move from the Earth's surface to the atmosphere, again when it's melted and heated by the sun. In a cold weather, it may fall as snow. I will discuss further if you are confused. Okay, but for in the next slide, I will make a short summary. Water cycle, we have here three most important process. Evaporation. That is the changing of water into gas. That gas is called the water vapor. Condensation is gas or the water vapor turning into water. So that is gas turning into water, which is liquid. Then, condensation process produces clouds. When the clouds form, and when it cannot hold back all the water, it pours down. When it pours down, there are types: rain, snow, sleet, and hail. In the next slide, in the next two slides, I will explain to you what is the difference of snow, sleet, hail, and rain. Okay, the water cycle, as I mentioned, that is the movement of the water from the Earth's surface going to the atmosphere. We'll repeat. Water cycle is the movement of water from the Earth's surface going to the atmosphere. Going down here, going up here. That is water cycle. That is the movement. Water cycle starts in evaporation, when the liquid turns into gas, which is water vapor. After that process, condensation starts. Condensation, remember, that is the change of liquid that is a change of gas going to liquid, and then that process forms a clouds. When the clouds cannot hold back the water, when it cannot hold, okay, it pours down. When it pours down, we call it precipitation. And when it pours down, it goes back again to the bodies of water. We call it storage. I'll repeat: evaporation, that is a process of water turning into gas. Condensation, that is a process of gas turning to liquid that results to forming of clouds. And the clouds cannot hold back all the water, it pours down. That pouring down is called precipitation. And then when it pours down, it goes back again to the bodies of water, which we call storage. Okay. Now, water cycle and the weather. Didn't you know that the weather is just the result of water cycle? Here it says weather is the result of how water, air, and temperature interact with each other. So temperature is also one of the reasons why we have different kinds of weather. And then the blowing of the air and the wind. This is also one factor why we have different weather. Here it says, for example, the temperature of the air in the atmosphere affects the type of precipitation. Yes, that is true. I will show you here. Here are the types of precipitation. Now, you will have snow. By the way, the blue color here represent the cool air. The red shades here represent the warm air. Okay, let's imagine this. This is the clouds. The cloud cannot hold back, meaning it's full. It pours down. When it pours down in a cold area, then that will become snow. Now, when the cloud pours down in this area, it's a cold area, then suddenly warm air blows in this area. The snow melts in a little while. And then in this area, it cools down again. Then that becomes a sleet. I will repeat. Sleet is just like clouds pouring out snow here. It melts a little while because of the warm air. And then it goes back again to the cool air. Sleet is a snow melts and refreeze again. Now, how about the rain? Rain is when it pours down here with snow and all of the places here down is hot. So that snow melts. And then that produces a rain. Okay? By the way, why all section here is snow? Because in reality, the more higher you go, the more colder. That's why in this section it's freezing cold, so you have snow. That is the reality. The precipitation falls first in the form of ice crystals and snow, but it only changes when the temperature changes here in the ground. Now, how do hail form? Okay, look at this picture. Different types of precipitation. Rain is really in the form of water. Snow is ice frost. Sleet is a frozen ice drops. What I mean is a frozen raindrops. Sorry, sleet is a frozen raindrops. So try to look at the picture. This is water form. When it freezes, it becomes sleet. Now hail. When the sleet, remember it's a frozen raindrops, combine all together. When it combines, it becomes a hail. And this is the size. So imagine when it is raining or pouring like this, that causes an accident and damage because imagine it's a big block of ice. Okay, so that is the type of precipitation. Let's go to the next page. Okay, there's a remaining question here, number 4. Suppose hail falls on a warm day. What can you infer or conclude about the air temperature high in the atmosphere? The air high up there in the atmosphere is below freezing, meaning the temperature up there is freezing cold, like this picture. As I've shown you, in reality, the higher you go, the colder the temperature. That's why all the pouring here is in crystal form and in snow form. But it only changes here because of the warm air. Okay? Now, didn't you know that the weather have a bad result? Yes, weather could have a bad result when the warm air and then the moist in the air also mixes all together with a cooler air. It produces a thunderstorm. I will repeat, when a warm air and then the moist and then the cooler air combine all together, that causes a thunderstorm. And when there's a long period of rain in the area, you will have flood. And then this is the opposite. You will have drought if there is a long period of dryness, meaning there is too much evaporation happening here, and then the water goes up in the atmosphere. That's why nothing left here. That's why you have drought. This is only happening, girls, in an area which is you have a high you have a hot temperature. So mostly in the country near the equator, like the tropical countries. Okay, tropical countries are near the equator. Some tropical countries, they have drought season in their country, so they need to wait until the rain fall. Okay, so again, bad weather condition, it could be a thunderstorm, it could be flooding, or it could be drought. So flooding is the opposite of drought. Now let's go back here. Let's go to the next slide. Water cycle and then the climate. Climate is a pattern of weather in a place over many years. The difference between climate and weather is a time to time and day-to-day basis changes of weather condition or the atmosphere condition. While climate is what? Climate is for long period of time. Remember, the weather forecast always says, today will be windy, cloudy, sunny. But the climate is just like the season, like winter, spring, summer, and fall. So, I will repeat, weather is a short period of time or day-to-day basis condition of the atmosphere, while the climate is a longer period. Okay, so let's try to infer or conclude here. Temperature in rainforest can receive more than 250 centimeters of rain in a year. Tell why you think this forest receives so much rain. The forests grow near the ocean. Water evaporates from the ocean and then travels over land, where it falls as precipitation. Didn't you know that most of the forest is near the ocean? Try to look at this one. An area that is near the ocean, they have a lot of evaporation. And then when you have a lot of evaporation, you have a lot of precipitation. I will repeat, an area which is near the bodies of water like this, we will have a lot of precipitation. Okay, so I will continue the next topic in the next presentation or the next video. Thank you for listening. See you in the next slide.